Sex, I think it'd be good to jump into that and then finish off with the other stuff, today. Tyler Perry, man, sat down on T.I.'s podcast expeditiously, and he finally addressed his motivation for Medea and him wearing a dress.
Yeah, it was dope as her.
Watching their pain and all the hell that they went through. So that they endeared to me, man. I was cousin, uncle, brother, and they have been my sole support the whole time.
And you've been speaking for them, through your characters and through the arcs of your characters, the stories that you're telling speak to the plight of Black women specifically. But if I may ask, how did you come up with the idea for Medea?
I was watching Eddie Murphy do the clumps, and I thought, let me try my hand at a female character. And I had just done my old man character in my first play, and they'd done really well. So I said, okay, I'm going to try a female character. I was only going to do it one show in Chicago, the Regal Theater, 79 Stony Island. I was scared to death the first time I didn't rehearse with the costume. I never put the costume on. It was me, Brown, and Corey. We all on stage. They're like, you're not going to put the costume on? I'm like, no. The day of the show, I put it on, man. I was so crazy uncomfortable. But the audience loved it. Yeah. I was just like, really?
You just kind of channeled. Is it your mom, your grandma?
That's totally I got an unhip Texas name, Mayola Ciparan. That's a real name.
Mayola Ciparan.
And she talked like that. She went in wig. It's always crooked and she always smoking. And that's her, man. That's her. Funny as could be.
And your meteoric rise, man, to success has not come without some level of criticism.
You gonna give me a polite?
I mean, man, we brothers here, man. You know what I'm saying? But you have people like, say Dave Chappelle being one, and just other people in Hollywood and in the industry that say it is much easier, especially for a Black man, to become successful when he chooses to put on a dress. How would you address that?
Listen, Chappelle is one of the most brilliant people I've ever seen in my life, man. And just not just in comedy, but the man is smart, a heavy, brilliant thinker. So if that is the case in Hollywood, then okay, that's the case. You gotta understand, that's not my case, right? Nobody owned that dress, but me.
That's right.
Nobody told me to $2 billion franchise. Nobody told me to put it on.
That's right.
Nobody makes me put it on.
Okay.
Nope, it was all on stage. Black man owned the whole show. It was my choice, right? So when I got to Hollywood and wanted to do Diary of a Mad Black Woman, it was my choice.
That's right.
And 19 movies since then has been my choice. So I don't. Maybe that's the way it's been for some other men who had done that. But for me, let me tell you how I look at this, man. I'm not a man that enjoys wearing a dress. For me, as an actor, it's costume.
That's right.
It's like if somebody goes to Walmart to work, they put on their uniform. For me, that's putting on a uniform, going out and making people laugh, lifting them up, encouraging them, and the good that it does for so many people. My favorite moment in the show, and I just finished the last show in.
Was he still alive?
But my favorite moment is the last 30 minutes of every play. That's when I'm sitting there. That's the only time I don't feel foolish or ridiculous, because I get to sit on stage in front of thousands of people in arenas now. Plays in arenas.
That's a damn thing, man.
Sitting there, and
I can't believe it.
I'm telling you, man, spit wisdoms that speak to people's lives in a way that makes it all right for me. So some people may not like the way that the message got there, but for me, it's important that the message landed.
Oh, God. Said a mouthful, but he didn't answer the question. I think it's the most candid he's been about it. What do you think?
He answered it, but it was alarming, I think, what the way he sidestepped a little bit as far as, never really denying that, some Black actors may get a little bit further when they're wearing dresses, but he pretty much said, like, he was influenced, by watching other people do what he did, and it was his decision. That's cool. I'm cool with that, but my question will be, why would the audience like to see a Black man emasculate himself like that? You got to ask yourself, even why we would like, as a people, to come out in droves to see a man, be able to do that and continue to do that and become such a big franchise. Now, I'm not criticizing him. I'm just saying, like, when it's been so many of us that have done it, so much of our prominent actors, pretty much a majority of them, I'll say have done it, at least the ones that we, fire in my hair. It seems like is probably, you know, an agenda. And my thing would be, why would you want to add to that emasculation of the black male image? The image is everything, like we talk about here. It is everything. It is everything to see a LeBron James. It is everything to have a Kobe Bryant. It's everything to have a Denzel Washington, a Will Smith. We can go on and on. Even some people even say Jay-Z.
Yeah.
But then if you got all of these men in Hollywood, this particular industry, that all they do, then they claim the fame. Jamie Foxx, Martin Lawrence, this person, you know, their biggest movies, their claim to fame is them putting on a dress. I think that's a problem. I think that sends a horrible, horrible message to children. And I don't think it's something you could say like, oh, I'm just putting on, you know, a suit. It's like, it's not like somebody going to Walmart and putting on an outfit. No, you're dressing like the opposite sex and making people think that that's okay, at least for that movie, or that's funny. I got a problem with that, man, but that's just me. I'm not banging on nobody. I'm not, you know, I'm just giving, you know, a little bit of constructive criticism from the way that I see it. And I know a lot of people see it this way as well.
I want to ask you this, I got to ask you a question. And I'm playing devil's advocate a little bit, even though I agree with most, if not all, of what you just said. There's nothing I can refute against what you said. I'm an alpha male. I'm a man that has children, and I want my image to be portrayed and seen in a certain light, and that's damn sure not with a dress on and being laughed at. So by no means am I going against what you said, but I'm gonna play devil's advocate a little bit, because you talked about when he put on the dress, why people come in drones. And that automatically made me think to when he was going in his wave, and right. My son's mother was watching, and our aunts were watching, and maybe our mothers were watching. I know my mother was watching. Black women around the world were watching. Right. I asked you this, in Tyler Perry's speaking, he may have ran around it, but he kind of gave the premise to where he wasn't feeling as though he was demasculating the black man. Do people go to these plays and automatically assume that black men are being demasculated by putting on that dress? Do they just not have knowledge? Or do you think that this is an image that's now just being put on us, right, and this is how we're seen?
Well, I'm sitting here, I'm writing down different things. Like we can go all across all the industries. Black men are portrayed as gangsters, thugs, pimps, wife beaters. It's not a lot of us being portrayed as doctors, lawyers, record execs. It's not a lot of us being portrayed as that. My argument is like, why add to it? Now we're gonna have some people that are gonna go that way. But when you talking about that, this image became so big, I think that's a problem, because what are black men? Let's just be honest. What is the image of black men, not only for us, but around the world in the United States? It's not necessarily a good one. And I think if you were to, you know, let's say another man from another country, we have a different persona. We have a different, you know, way that we view them based on the stuff that they do, based on the propaganda, based on the movies, based on the music that they put out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, well, black people, we're in a totally different boat than others. We can't keep afford. And that's why we get down on, you know, people like Umar and other people, because you're representing the best of us. We can't afford to continue to have our image be ruined. We need more people like us, more business owners, more leaders, more people to be portrayed in a higher light, and less stuff like this. And when you see a lot of our actors, like I said, doing it, you got to ask yourself, oh, is this some type of agenda? That's all I pretty much had to say about that.
Word. And I think, and that was very well put, oh God. I got to give a little criticism, even though it's not warranted, it's not fair. And if he did say it in the context of this conversation, that's, I think, over an hour long, I apologize. I listened to about 15, 20 minutes of it.
Right.
I wish T.I., who, shout out to him for asking the question and going there, would have just went a little further and said, do you believe that putting on a dress in Hollywood demasculates the black man? And how do you feel about the image that you portray? You a 6'5", 200 some odd pounds, black male who carries a lot of weight on the TV screen, whether that be through a movie, whether that be through TV series, whether that be in Hollywood, whether that be in Atlanta, in your own studios. You carry a lot of weight. So the image you portray has to matter. And you said you've always felt uncomfortable. Well, why'd you feel uncomfortable?
Real shit.
You did 19 movies feeling uncomfortable, and tours and miles and 1,000 miles of plays feeling uncomfortable. At what point did it go, okay, I have to stop this? Did you look in the mirror and realize you had to stop and continue to going? What made the train, if you were uncomfortable with it, continue to go the miles it did? And what do you feel about the imagery of a black man. I just want those questions answered as well. I don't know if T.I. answered them. I don't know if I'm too interested in going back and listening.
Yeah, I think the way he was asking the question, he was kind of like, T.I. was kind of tiptoeing a little bit, like he didn't want to offend him a little bit. I think the way he was asking it, as anybody would, because you don't want to offend somebody.
You want to have respect for the man.
Right. And I mean, if you meet somebody, it's a different thing. I understand that Tyler Perry, this is something that he tried and he got successful. It made him a trillion, almost a billionaire at this point. Salute to him. But I'm just saying, like, there is collateral damage, that comes along with that, period. I don't care what nobody says.
That's just a fact, man.
You know what I mean? But again, we're not going to be the people that's going to beat him down and say he got to be taken away or we should cancel him because look what he did. But it's almost like, it's probably not good to compare, but somebody who did bad in their life and now they're doing good. He's employing people. I mean, so what can you really say? But I'm glad that somebody had the balls to ask him that question.
Yeah, I mean, that man used to sleep in his car. Went to sleep in his car to own the studios in Atlanta. I'm not going to knock his hustle.
Absolutely.
But now that he's there, if he's going to take interviews, hopefully he answers all the tough questions that come his way. Yeah. We would love to hear it. We respect him. So we want to respect his opinion and respect his thoughts on why he did it. I want to hear him.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. But